Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Ty and this is Dr. Sean.
Hello.
And this is Home Kit Part 1. So when we issue this is the first part that you'll get, and there's quite a few little pieces to it, so we want to just make sure you have this video to be able to refer back to all the time. And so we're just going to go piece by piece. There'll be a couple of different pieces that will have different videos for more information on, but for right now we're just going to walk through what you're going to be doing starting twice a day with this stuff as part of your corrective care. And remember, we're doing spinal correction, so that means with the adjustments, this needs to be done if we're going to have those adjustments have support by these exercises, by the spinal molding, by the neck traction, by the wobble, all these things put together. That's what creates that spinal change. And the spinal change is mainly for longevity, quality of life, and health. Because remember, we're trying to change this spine for the better to release the stress on the nerve system that is creating the function in you, not just making you feel better, okay? So let's start off real quick with the neck traction unit. So what this is, this one goes over your door. Now, that's not the only way you can do it. You can also put like an eye bolt into a stud, and what you can do with that is then put a carabiner on it and click it. So if this is going to be shared with you and your spouse or you and someone else, then you can put a couple different eye bolts in there and then click the carabiner for your guys' heights. But for right now, it has a little puck in here that goes over the door. You close the door and then you can tie it up into that and put knots in it to be the right level. That's a really super easy way. But again, there'll be another video on this. How many times do we do this? It's 25 to 60. We're working our way up to 60 times. And what the neck traction does is it helps to stretch that curve into your neck, helps to open up the soft tissues of the front side of your spine and those anterior tissues to allow the curve to bend in there, okay? So just like this, we want that curve to be able to bend in so that these stretch, so that we have better curve, better function in our bodies. The other thing that does too is it warms up the discs in there, and I'll talk about that with the wobbling as well. So neck traction first. And you can interchange the neck traction and wobbling. You can do wobble first or neck traction first. Either way, that's up to you. So the next part is going to be the wobble disc, okay? The wobble is going to come in this box, deflated. So you'll need to inflate. It's got a little inflator in here. So this is about how much air I want you to have in there. Okay, so it's not too built up and it's not too flat, and you can modify that for your needs. If it feels more comfortable, a little more inflated or deflated, go ahead, I'm okay with that. But this usually tends to be the best right here, okay? So the wobble disc is the same exact procedure that you're gonna do, that you're using in the office as well. And if you remember what that is, that's our warm-ups. We're doing 10 each side, front and back, side to side, and then rotating, okay? And then we're doing the X pattern 25 times. So basically that's about 8 minutes of doing this X pattern in there, okay? And again, there's gonna be a separate video on just the wobble that you'll be able to access so that you can go over it and relearn it if it's giving you some trouble, okay? So we have neck traction, we've got wobble. What those two things do together is they warm up the spine really good. So technically you can do those two things before going out and doing yard work, before an athletic event, before a workout. I do this before every workout to warm up my spine and get it good and ready, because I want to make sure not to injure myself. So it's a good way to avoid injuries. The other thing too is what it does for the disc spaces, okay? So these guys right here, the spaces between the bones, it takes that disc and changes it from a hydrogel state to a hydrosol state. And what that means is it's more moldable. Okay, so why would we want it more moldable? Well, if we want more curve in your neck and back, 45 degrees, we got to give it the ability to curve. So that makes it more moldable. Now we go to third part, okay? And the third part's going to be the spinal molding process, okay? So put these aside here. So we've just warmed up our spine, and the spinal molding part, so the twice a day consists of neck traction and wobble morning time, or even when you get home from work, whatever's convenient. I just want you to do it twice a day. And then the second time, you're gonna do neck traction, wobble, and then you're gonna lay over the spinal molding blocks, okay? So it's usually right before you go to bed. So brush your teeth, get ready for bed, do all these things, and then, man, when you're ready, neck traction, wobble, or wobble, neck traction, whatever, and then you're gonna start to use these. So these are the spinal molding blocks. There's 3 blocks that you're gonna get. This is called the Denner roll. And I'm gonna have Dr. Sean explain this in just a second because it's got a little bit of a different procedure than these 2 guys right here, but you're gonna use them in conjunction. All right, so we have done our neck traction, our wobble. Now we're ready to do the spinal molding. Okay, so the spine is warmed up. The discs are now in from a hydrogel to a hydrosol state, very moldable, and it's going to cool down after 20 minutes. So we want to lay on something that's going to bend our spine over this thing while it cools down in that position. That speeds up the process of this spinal correction. Okay, so these are the blocks that you're going to be getting in your home kit part 1. So I'm gonna specifically put this one aside because Dr. Sean's gonna go over the Denner roll. That's gonna be for your neck, and there's a specific procedure. But you're gonna use all 3 in conjunction. And this part goes towards your shoulders, your head goes over here, okay? So that takes care of that. I'm gonna put that one aside because that's a different block. These 2 are gonna be for your low back, okay? And the low back blocks, basically, this is the beginner, this is the starting one. So just remember the tab goes towards the tushy, all right? So this part right here is an important place to go, all right? You find your lower ribs, okay? You draw a line back here, and you want it up here. So notice my low back is, my tailbone's here, so you don't want it right down against the tailbone because it'll create some pain, irritation, things like that. So we want it up high enough to where it's gonna make that curve go up like this, not out like this, okay? So when Dr. Sean lays down, he's gonna put this at this bottom rib, this goes towards his tushy, and then this is gonna be 20 minutes. You're gonna work up to 20 minutes. If you can lay on it for 20 minutes off the get-go, great. Once you've gone a couple weeks and everything's feeling good and you can lay on this for 20 minutes easily, we're gonna switch to Big Bubba, all right? Bubba is a lot more aggressive, and when it's new, it needs to be kind of crushed down a little bit. So step on it, jump on it, send the kids, on it, and just mash it up. It'll soften it up. And then when, again, you feel fine on this, then the next time, put Big Bubba in that same spot. Knees need to be bent. I'll show you all this in just a second. Knees need to be bent, and then put that there. If it's aggressive enough to where it starts to hurt after a few minutes, okay, then we just swap this back out. We take this one out, put this one back in, okay? So this one first, up to 20 minutes comfortably, switch to Bubba as long as you can. Let's say it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Now, ooh boy, this is uncomfortable. Put this one back in, and then just now the next day, maybe go an extra minute. Maybe the next day or a week later, you're doing 5 extra minutes until you're getting up to 20 minutes on this one. Okay, so that's what all 3 of these blocks are defined as. So let's have Doc walk you through the Denner roll and what that's supposed to look like and do, and then I'll have him lay on it and show you.
Okay, this is the Denner roll. Like we said, this is for the neck. This can help remold your spine up here. It's a really effective orthotic device, and so you only start off a couple minutes at a time, okay? We're gonna explain this to you when we give it to you as well. It comes with a chart, and on the back, it actually has goal times to hit, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, so on up to 15 to 20. Anything beyond 20 minutes doesn't actually help anything, so don't go beyond that, okay? Also here, when you're laying down, there's an x-ray, got the flat spine. When we're laying over the orthotic, it actually pushes up the spine and remolds it. It actually changes your spine, okay? And that's what we want to get that 45-degree curvature, okay? Okay, so it says shoulders this side, that goes towards your shoulders, okay? And my head's laying over the back of it, right? It's not here, pressing my skull up. We don't want that, okay? And it's not down here where my whole head is flopping like that, okay? Want it right in the middle, gently going over, and you simply just lay here. Now we want to do this on the floor, okay, not in your bed, because if you're in your bed, you're a couch, it's going to sink too far in. You won't get the maximum effect, okay? All right? And man, I'm already feeling it. This is awesome. To get up, don't do a sit up, okay, because we're stretching all that out. That might hurt. What you want to do is just roll to the side and press yourself up like that. That's really important to do so you don't hurt your neck when you get off of it. And that's
Perfect.
the general.
Perfect. And if you'll lay down on your back, just like you were. So then place your dinner roll where it needs to be. Excellent. So now to place this, again, we're gonna find the lowest rib right here. So that's where his lowest rib, it's about the belly button, maybe a little bit higher. It kind of depends on who we are, where our belly button is. But then we'll go ahead and lift up your buns right there. Let's see, a little higher. Good. Is that about right? Yeah, I like that. How's that feel?
Feels good.
Good. So about right there is where we're going to have the apex of that first block. Okay. So now this has a time limit. The dinner roll has a time limit. We're starting off with a couple minutes, working up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what we're going to do, this one, you're probably going to last on a lot longer. Notice that his knees are bent. You could even have them a little bit less bent, maybe put a pillow underneath there, whatever's comfortable, just get comfortable with it. And again, this is on the floor because we want that extra pressure, not it sinking into the bed, okay? If this is too much, go ahead and start on the bed if you want, and then transition into the floor, okay? So what this is gonna look like, since you're gonna stay on this block longer, is let's say it's 2-3 minutes, then just pick your head up, we'll remove this, and then go ahead and lay your head flat on the ground. I'm okay with that. If you want, the other thing that you can have is maybe instead have a rolled up towel that's fairly baseball size-ish in diameter, and you can put that under there because that's less aggressive, but it'll still kind of hold that curve. And in fact, I would suggest that over just the floor. So just have a towel ready for you that you can just cradle that neck in there, okay? Then you'll finish off the 20 minutes on the first block. And again, when that gets comfortable and it's easy, then we're gonna start with Big Bubba, okay? And we're gonna lay on that, okay? Same rules apply to the spinal molding. You want to roll off of them to the side and then get up from there. Don't try and sit up, especially on Bubba. This one's pretty aggressive, okay? So again, this one, same thing. Now let's say we might be at maybe 10 or 15 minutes here on the dinner roll. This block might not last you that long, so we're going to remove that after, let's say, 5 minutes or 8 minutes or whatever, replace it with this small block, and then work your way up on time. So again, both of them, we'd love to see it about 20 minutes. Anything beyond 20 minutes, the spine and the discs have now cooled down. They've gone from a hydrosol to a hydrogel state, and they're not molding anymore. Now you're just kind of laying on these big blocks, and it might be uncomfortable. Some of you, it might be comfortable. I have a lot of patients that say, can I sleep on them? And I'm like, you can try, and we'll go from there. But I wouldn't recommend it. So, and then from here, we jump in bed, we get in our good position as our sleeping positions. Go ahead and come on up, Doc, perfect. And what a good position would be is either laying on your back with a pillow underneath your knees, or on your side with a pillow between your knees here, so the knees are in the same level, and then we're laying like this. Those are the best positions. We already have gone over that, and I have another sleeping position video on that as well. So the neck traction, again, 25 to 60 repetitions with this, about 10 to 15 minutes on this. Finishing off, and that's in the morning time. You don't have to do anything after that. Evening time, neck traction wobble, finish with the fulcrum blocks and the dinner roll, and that's pretty much it. And you do this twice a day, The spinal molding blocks only once a day, everything else twice a day. What's that gonna give us? That's gonna give us a better looking spine, and again, for better functional health, longevity, quality of life. Plus, remember what we're gonna do is we're gonna take another set of x-rays in about 3 months, okay? So if you aren't doing this as we prescribe it, then you're taking away what we need for information to be able to make decisions when we take those next set of x-rays. if it's not what we want, we need to change things up if you're doing everything we're telling you to do. If you're not doing this, then we don't know what we need to change then, okay? So please, for our sakes and for your sakes, let us help you better. Make sure you're doing your home care very, very accurately and very consistently. And boy, we're gonna make some great changes. And again, that leads into longevity and quality of life, and that's what we're after, okay? So we appreciate you guys for doing this and taking the time to do this, to help us, to help you. And we just look forward to seeing some great changes coming forward. So this is Dr. Sean, I'm Dr. Ty, and be blessed and be a blessing.